So as we continue on Smile this morning, a current trend, I'm told, is showing that more Jamaicans are having fewer children. And if this continues, we could have a decline in the population. Joining us for this discussion is Dr. Pauline Russell-Brown, Chief Executive Officer of the Jamaica Family Planning Association. Morning, Dr. Russell-Brown. How are you?
Good morning. I'm well, thanks. How are you doing?
I can't complain at all. I'm Neville. Simone is with me. Thanks for being with us this morning. Overall, so it's a good thing or a bad thing, even though it says it might affect the population, it's a good thing or a bad thing that we're not having as many children as we normally have, if that's the way I should put the question?
It depends on how you look at it, Neville. It could be a good thing, but it can also be a bad thing. In terms of supporting ourselves and our aging population, it's not necessarily a good thing. But in terms of the health of women, it could be a very good thing. Because the fewer children women have, the healthier they are, the more likely they can support the ones they have, support them both financially as well as emotionally. So it's a bit of both.
So from where you stand, I guess I'm asking for a personal opinion here. From where you stand, what do you think? Good or bad?
Again, it is tough to say that. And the same answer I gave you earlier is the same answer I'll give you again. Okay. It's best for our country if women have fewer children. Best for the children who they're raising. They can spend more time breastfeeding. Let's start very early so the children are more healthy. They spend more time in interacting with the children so they're more emotionally stable. And in terms of financial support, the money can spread better if you have fewer children.
Yeah.
But from a national point of view, we get to a point where we are now actually. We are at the point where it's about 2.1 children, and this is an average per woman. We're at replacement level. That's what the demographers talk about. Where if we go much lower than that, we could have a problem supporting the elder population.
Right. So that's what I want you to elaborate on a little bit, because we want to talk about, you said there are implications for the aging population, which a lot of people don't understand. So spell that out for us. If more of us are having fewer children and our population is aging, there are implications.
Yes. We have what we call the replacement level fertility, okay? And we need to have sufficient number of people in the working population so that we can support ourselves nationally. So the fewer children we are having, at some point we'll get to this stage, because we still have retirement age at 60, 65, right? So we get to this stage where the support provided by the younger working population becomes insufficient to take care of everybody in the country.
Right. Okay. Can we look at some of the reasons to which this having fewer children are the reasons that we're attributing this to?
Okay, I should preface that by saying this is not a recent trend. We have been seeing declines in the birth rate overall for many years, and some of that is
in Jamaica.
Some of that is attributable to the improved education of women, and we know the international literature tells us when women are better educated, the chances are they will have fewer children. So that is one of the reasons we're having this. Another may be economic, and I don't have the data to support that. I'm sure that Statin or the Planning Institute have those data to support the contention that it is women are having fewer children because they want, the earning power may not be there, or they want to support their children in a better way. So it's economics as well. So, but it's women's education is a key determinant of lower birth rates.
Yeah, articles here says schooling and the pursuit of higher education is one of the leading causes for Jamaica's decreasing birth rate. Easton Williams, Director of Social Policy Planning and Research at the PIOJ, says the cycle of, quote, school, education and work has almost eclipsed the cycle of sex and reproduction. So it's a major shift.
It is a major shift. And as I say, it's not a recent occurrence. We've been seeing that those declines over many years.
Yep.
At the same time, if I may throw in here, although we're seeing overall fewer children, the average number, we still have an issue with early childbearing. So women are starting their childbearing early, but are ending it early as well. So we have teen pregnancies, and that is a major contributor to our population each year. About 20% of births in any 1 year are to women under 19. So
Do we find that similarly or at the same time, there are women who are having children at an older age as well?
yes, older meaning over 30.
Yes, well,
Yes,
I know I laugh because I was 35 when I had my daughter and I was considered a dinosaur. So, but I know there are
Absolutely.
women at 40 and 45 and 50 who are having children now.
But fewer women are doing that. Much fewer women are doing that because in many cases they have focused on their education and career building before they start their families.
Yeah.
As you know, there are complications with that as
Right,
well.
correct.
The late childbearing.
Correct.
Okay.
Dr. Russell Brown, I don't know if we look outside of Jamaica for anything like this, but where are we, if we do, compared to, say, the other Caribbean islands?
We're seeing similar trends in much of the region, especially with early childbearing. Adolescent childbearing is something that is of concern to all the English-speaking Caribbean countries. And we are challenged, how can we help to delay first of all, the initiation of sex, and secondly, the first pregnancy among adolescents in the region.
Okay. And so according to Mr. Williams now, at the end of 2008, the average number of children per woman was 2.4. Early 2020, the CDB is predicting Jamaica's population would be slashed by 50% by the end of the century. 50%.
The Planning Institute have those data, and I trust Mr. Williams' contention, and it creates a problem for us. Quite the reverse that we had, say, 50 years ago or 65 years ago when the Family Planning Association was established. At that time, we had women who were having 5, 6, and 7 children. And so that's one of the reasons that contraceptives and family planning services were introduced in Jamaica to help women to space their pregnancies and to therefore end up having healthier children.
Yeah.
Okay.
Final question from me, Dr. Russell Brown. So is the family planning folks, are you telling people you should have 2.1? And I know the 0.1, I understand that. I know it's an average, but are you suggesting that it must be 2 or it mustn't be 2? What's the suggestion here?
Is there another campaign coming?
Yep.
Well, I can't speak for the National Family Planning Board because they are the arm of the government that does family planning services. But we encourage women to not to have more children than they can afford to have, than their bodies will allow them to have, so they have healthy pregnancies and that they can support financially and emotionally. So that's our contention. We don't like to put a number to it. We'd rather leave it to the individual couple or the woman to make that decision. But we encourage birth spacing. First of all, we encourage delaying the first pregnancy. We encourage spacing, 18 months or more between your pregnancies, to allow a woman to breastfeed and to nurture that child, and then to get to a place where you make the decision, yes, this is a number that I can afford to take care of. And at that point, we encourage women to use methods that are longer acting.
I did say final question, but an extension to that, do you know what the family planning board is saying? Are they saying 2 or 2, 3? Or do you know what they're saying?
They're probably saying what we are saying at this point.
Okay.
I'm not sure if they want to run that campaign again, because that resonated so well with the population. That was many years ago, and people still know 2 is better than 2.
Better than 2.
Yeah.
And I think, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You finish.
Yeah, and I think that encouragement still is valid.
Okay.
All right, Doc. Thank you so much for your insight this morning. Dr. Pauline Russell Brown, CEO of the Jamaica Family Planning Association. After the break, domestic violence survivors gaining valuable skills. We talk about that program after this.